Hello 127th Wing, I'm General Mammen, and I wanted to have this video announcement to all of you prior to drill. It's more of a safety announcement or a public service announcement than a drill UTA announcement. I wanted to talk to you about several things looking through the lens of the current pandemic of the COVID-19 virus that we have here across our nation and in the state of Michigan. As you know, it's a very, very challenging time for all of us, but I wanted to look at it through the lens of my three priorities that I told you last year were readiness, people, and culture. I want to start out with the first two, and then I'm going to end this video with my last one of culture. So the first one, of readiness through the lens of this pandemic, I want you to understand what I see every day. We have a responsibility as a with our federal mission to maintain readiness, to be ready to go at a moment's notice if our federal leaders ask us to go someplace. So with that in mind, everything that we're doing here, or much of what we're doing here on base, is with that idea of maintaining that readiness. Now, this drill weekend, we've actually pared down our training footprint to maintain our readiness, but at the same time, keep our social distancing. That's why many of you may not have been asked to come to drill, or many of you have been asked specifically to stay home from this drill weekend, specifically for that reason. Again, we're trying to keep your safety in this, but at the same time maintain our federal readiness throughout this process. So it's very important that we do that because we could be called at any time. That's part of our job. Now let's look at it through the lens of state readiness. Right now today, we actually have guardsmen working on humanitarian relief operations and in other parts of our community, helping our community with their relief efforts in Michigan. It's very important that we keep that in mind, that that's probably going to increase over the next several weeks. I anticipate us calling you, or calling many of you, to come out and do more of that relief effort for the state of Michigan, for our governor. Remember, the National Guard is a community-based force. We are a cornerstone of Michigan communities. And if our governor calls, we're going to help and go into our communities and work with our communities as part of the recovery efforts during this pandemic that we're dealing with today. So again, I want you to consider your readiness going forward to ensure that we are ready to go at a moment's notice if our governor calls us. Now let's talk about my second line of effort. The second line of effort was people. It was about you. I can tell you the last thing I think about before I go to sleep at night, and the first thing I wake up and think about when I wake up in the morning is you, is your safety, your health, and your resilience. That's something that is continuously on my mind, and everything that I'm trying to do right now is to ensure those factors for you. That's why we even have such a small footprint for drill this weekend. We're trying to maintain those social distances so I can keep you healthy. That is why all our customer service efforts on this base are done by appointment only. Again, so we can maintain our social distance, so I can keep you healthy and strong. With this crisis, I'm sure there are many people out there with challenges as a result of being isolated and being potentially out of work, or what other challenges you may have. So I ask you to remember that we still have all our support functions on this base here to support you. From our Director of Psychological Health to our family support, we are all here for you. If you need help, please reach out. We can't do anything without you letting us know that you need help. So again, when I'm thinking of people, it's about you and your safety and your resilience. And now I'd like to talk about the last line of effort that we discussed last year, and that was organizational culture, or culture of the wing. Remember, you all, I asked all of you to give me one word that you would like our culture of the wing to be described as. The number one word that was used by people in this wing, by all our members, was family. I cannot think of a better word in this current time of crisis than family as a culture that we want to adhere to. What's really interesting is the month of April is the National Guard Bureau's Guard Family Month. So it all comes together as one. So I'm going to ask you to reach out to our fellow family members in this wing and give them a call. I want you to also consider that we have a few members of this wing who have been tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. They're doing fine, but they are part of our family, and we need to ensure that they're going to be taken care of as we keep moving forward. So again, I ask all of you to reach out to somebody within your organization and have that conversation. If you remember, after our Resiliency Day, we had great conversations that went into the dinner and that evening about resiliency of our members of the wing. I want you to do that now with all of us being socially separated and not able to communicate with each other and may feel isolated. Reach out to somebody and talk to them and talk to them about family. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everything you're doing. I cannot be prouder of the men and women of this organization. I appreciate your professionalism and appreciate your leadership. Thank you.